This video is to help you figure out how to calculate the x and y intercepts of linear functions. So linear functions are going to be written one of multiple ways. So you might have what is called standard form, which is where you have it in ax plus by equals c, where a, b, and c are all constants, just meaning they're numbers. You know, it could be like 3, 4, 5, -8, something like that. And x and y are just the variables x and y. You also have slope-intercept form, which is of the form y equals mx plus b, where m represents the slope and b represents the y-intercept. And the last form you have is called point slope form, and that form looks like this. So the x and the y will remain as variables when you actually write out this equation. The m will become whatever the slope of the line is. We'll talk about how to find that in a second. And x naught, y naught represent two x points. Your teacher might also write this as y sub 1 and x sub 1. They're pretty much interchangeable in both math and physics classes that you'll take. So let's talk about how to find x and y intercepts. So the way to find the x-intercept of the graph, well, let's look at this right here. Let's look at our xy coordinate plane. So the xy intercept is where it intersects the x-axis, which is this one right here. So this whole thing going across. Well, let's just look at some points here. Let's maybe look at that point. Let's look at that point. Let's look at that point. Let's look at that point. Excuse me. These all have some x value. I'm just going to say this is the point -5, 0. Maybe this is the point -2, 0. This is the point 2, 0. And this is the point 5, 0. What do all of these points on the x-axis have in common? Well, what they have in common is they all have the same y value. Anywhere on the x-axis, y is equal to 0. So if you want to figure out what the y-intercept is, you want to set x equal to 0. I may have misspoken there. To find the x-intercept, you set y equal to 0. And vice versa, if you think about the y-axis, the x value doesn't change anywhere on there. So in order to find your y-intercept, you must set x equal to 0. So let's try a problem here. So maybe I have, in standard form, I have 2x plus 3y equals -6. Well, if I want to find the x-intercept, I want to set y equal to 0. So to find the x-intercept, I would do 2x plus 3 times 0 equals -6. Well, we know 3 times 0 is just 0, so this becomes 2x equals -6, which tells us x is equal to -3. So now I shouldn't have circled that because that's actually not quite our answer. The x-intercept has to be a point. So the point would be where x is -3, y is 0. And this is actually what would be our answer here. So this is what should be circled. Now in order to find the y-intercept, I want to set x equal to 0. So in order to find the y-intercept, I would do 2 times 0 plus 3 times y is equal to -6. So I can see that just disappears, and I can come up after I divide both sides by 3 with y is equal to -2. But again, that's not quite my answer. I do want to draw it as a point, and that point would be the point 0, -2. So that would be how you would do it in standard form. And the process really is identical for point slope form, or y equals mx plus b form, so slope intercept form. So I'm going to do one in slope intercept, and I think you can probably guess how to do it in point slope form after that. So let's say we wanted to do y equals mx plus b. So maybe we had y equals -2x minus 7. And I wanted to find the x-intercept. So in order to find the x-intercept, again, I set y equal to 0. So this would be 0 is equal to -2x minus 7. After I add 7 to both sides, I get 7 equals -2x, and I divide both sides by -2. I see that x is equal to -7/2. So my actual point, my x-intercept would be the point -7/2, 0. Now let's say I want to find the y-intercept. Well, again, I just set x equal to 0. So this would be y is equal to a -2 times 0 minus 7. And we can see that this is pretty simply just -7. So my y-intercept would be the point 0, comma, -7. So I hope that clears that up. These tend to be relatively straightforward compared to some other problems. Try to get into the trickier stuff next.